Our project aims to support the management of the home support service. This service supports clients continuing to live in their homes, therefore directly aligning with some of the key objectives of Sláinte Care. The service not only assists persons aged 65 and over, but also persons with early onset of dementia and those with a disability. Since its commencement in 2006, the Home Support Service, formerly referred to as Home Help or Home Care Package Service, has changed dramatically. These numbers, in some respects, indicate the scale and complexity of the current service. Over the years, the hours delivered and funding have increased significantly. The number of clients have also steadily increased, although the graph would indicate otherwise. This may be due to a lack of quality data. However, the one constant in the 15 years history of the service is the failure to effectively utilise ICT to enable the provision of a more efficient service. While the service is being delivered, managing it is chaotic. The absence of a national system presents concerns and risks from a clinical, financial, information and corporate perspective. Our mission, if we chose to accept it, was to identify stakeholders and to specify key user requirements to inform a national system. Carol's role in project management and Judy's in home support services allowed us to gain unique perspectives from users across the service and to understand where we needed to go. It was mission impossible, but the combination of technical, clinical and business expertise with lots and lots of meetings made it possible.
A system of this scale needs to take into account many perspectives. Prior to considering these in detail, we first looked at systems in place, the as-is. Next, we focused on the views of the key stakeholders to identify their needs, wants and wishes.
We have considered other systems in use in home support services, and from our review, they failed to incorporate several key stakeholder requirements. We mapped all stakeholders and started engagement with key users of the system, shown in green, to inform our design. We took their views on board and categorised them. A selection of these are categorised here.
Most of this project has focused on identifying the functionality that should be afforded to each user type, documenting rules that must be adhered to in CRUD operations, designing tables and mocking up screens. Shown here are some of the key considerations in specifying the system. Amongst other features, it is menu-driven, has intuitive design and minimises data entry. For the next section of this presentation, we will focus on the visual aspects of these key functions and features.
The system will support e-referrals from public health nurses, hospitals and other persons such as social workers. They can upload clinical documentation and indicate the urgency of a referral. In addition, the system will link with the Eircode and IHI APIs. Once the administrator logs on, the e-referrals waiting to be processed are displayed. The administrator will click on the client's name to continue processing the applications. At this stage, the administrator will be able to request additional documentation and also indicate the client's provider preferences, the designate, next of kin, GP, current living arrangements, and so forth. If the assessor, having reviewed an application, is approving a package for a client, they will supply details such as the duration, the care task types, how many carers are required, and the days on which care will occur. As the assessor makes a selection, these will be entered into a schedule which they can review and amend accordingly prior to the submission to the system. In accordance with the client's preferences, the suggested schedule of care is released to providers who shall indicate any or all of the schedule they have the capacity to administer.
The system places all tasks in order in accordance with agreed rules. Colour coding is used to differentiate priorities, making the system easy to navigate. In the assessor screen, information such as the package status, referral source and the urgency of the task is apparent. As an example, Julia Long's review, not due for another 10 days, has been categorised as urgent due to an external request for prioritisation which has been logged against her record. When the PHN logs on, they too can see all clients that they have referred and the status of same. For example, the PHN can see both Julia's urgent status and that her Other client John Linden is on the waiting list. When the assessor reviews individual packages, the decisions they make and reasons for same are tracked. They can change the priority, urgency and dependence of any package they review. This makes the review process easy, transparent and traceable.
Annual budgets for each CHO can be set up on the system. Supplementary budgets can also be added for LHOs throughout the year. The system accurately records agencies, their care task type and an option to indicate whether tender rates apply. If an agency is not operating under a tender agreement, their rates will need to be supplied. Tender start and end dates can be easily entered, as can the rate applicable. Any rates that are similar across a number of agencies and LHOs can be entered at the same time. This makes a very complex and error-prone process very simple. The system enables entry of rates for HSE staff per LHO, along with the types of care provided. An alternate option is that nationally agreed rates or blanket rates applicable to all CHOs can also be submitted.
The system will generate reports in real time, some of which can take weeks to collate with current manual systems. For example, the report shown took one CHO 220 hours to compile. Reports can be sorted by clicking on any underlined columns. The system will have a portal that enables the client or their designate to confirm levels of satisfaction with their service. In using the portal, clients will assist the HSE to verify the 24 million home support hours that are planned.
Our next steps will be to present our work to date to the national sponsor. We will then complete the specification and meet with the UX designer and software developer. From there, we hope to develop a prototype which we will validate with stakeholders. We hope to then gain approval from our national sponsor and assist them with the development of a business case to gain deeper funding for implementation. The home support budget for 2021 will be over €638 million. 0.001% of this, or 1,000th of this, is equal to €638,000. Imagine what a system we could get for this.